Hi everyone, my name is Paul Mundy, also known as Mr. Paul. I am a PE teacher, a first grade assistant. I also do clubs at Woodson Branch, like a fishing club and archery club. But today we're going to go over some fishing tackle, different type of rigs that you could use, and different styles of reels that are pretty common, and you can catch fish about anywhere using these. Alrighty, the first reel we're going to go over is your push button reel. This reel is probably the most common reel that most people will own, and definitely the easiest to learn how to fish and to use. If you've been fishing for a long time or you're new to fishing, most people owns one of these little push button reels. All you do is you push the button on the bottom side, it releases the line, and then you click the reel back over to start reeling back in the line. My advice to any new fisher is to try to start with one of these reels first. Second reel we're going to do is the open face reel, which is a little bit harder to use than a closed face reel. This reel has what they call a bail. You flip the bail to release the line, and it also, once you click it over, it will set the line back coming back. This one has where you can reverse the reel on either side, whichever hand you prefer to reel in. These also are good because they come in all different sizes. You can get big enough reels to where you can catch big fish with open face reels. Unlike push button, they only go up to limited size. Alright, the last reel we're going to go over is one style that comes in two different kinds. This is called bait casters. A lot of your bait casters are mostly known for bass fishermen. Bass fishermen love using bait casters for flipping lures and all different stuff. They handle a lot of casting, and they have ball bearings and stuff where you can adjust the speed of which you want the line to come out to adjust your casting. The other style is the bigger style that you see I use for catfishing myself, but they use for big ocean rods, for sharks, marlin, and stuff like that. These are for bigger style fish. Now I'm going to go over with some of the most common rigs that you would use with live bait most of the time. You can use some lures with some of these rigs, but I mostly live bait fish myself. But this one is just a little split shot rig with a little hook. This rig I use a lot to catch my bait stuff for catfishing. I use this rig trout fishing stuff. It's a good little creek rig. Alright, and your second rig is called the Carolina rig. The Carolina rig is a great rig for a lot of live bait fishing, especially live bait like minnows and stuff like that. But with this rig, you have a sinker on your main line, and then you have a barrel swivel. Below your barrel swivel, you have what we call leader line. Most of the time you want to use a bigger leader line because it's going to take some more beating than your main line. And then you'll use any size hook depending on the bait or the fish that you're targeting. And the last kind is Santee rig. The Santee rig is just like the Carolina rig in a style that you will use a sinker at the top, and then you'll have your barrel swivel. We like to put a bead that's called a bumper, so our big sinkers, when we're using big sinkers, is not hitting our knots. And then of course we have our leader line, which is bigger pound test than our main line. And what makes a Santee rig different than a Carolina rig is a float. On here I have a rattler called a Demon Dragon, but it floats and keeps your bait suspended off a bottom in case you're in any kind of rocks or trees or something. It keeps them up so the fish can come up and grab them. Alright, that's the three main rigs that can help you catch fish about anywhere you fish.